Hello everyone. I just thought I'd jump up on here before I start this video to say thank you to everyone that's ordered off the website recently. The support is amazing, so thank you very much. If you are, waiting till the end of the month for payday or whatever, the pre-order for the hoodie is still running till the end of the month. So got a couple more days after this video is released to get yourself a hoodie if you wanted one. But if not, thank you to everyone else that's ordered anything else. It's awesome, very much appreciated. This video is kind of a little short one. I wasn't really sure how long it was going to be. Obviously, I finished filming it and then I got to the end. I was like, oh, it's actually quite short. So I just put this in the middle to make it a little bit longer. But I am also looking at a new workshop project, which I've taken home today. I'll show you a quick peek of it now. There will be a video on this by the end of the week. I've got so many videos on at the moment, it's hard to keep track of what I've actually filmed and what I haven't filmed. So, yeah, I'm excited for this one. If you are as well, great. But other than that, enjoy this video of the Skyline. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm going to do a customer vehicle video today. Now, there's going to be a couple of these over the next couple of weeks because, well, we've got some exciting customer cars going on. So, if you didn't know, obviously Grasswells is my main source of income, so anything that I have to do in the workshop is usually not really mine, but quite recently all the videos have been my cars. So it's got to the end of the show season now, everyone wants to get their cars finished, including me, and yeah, we've got an exciting couple of cars in recent months, so let's get on. So I started filming this already once before and things just sort of happened, things didn't align. So there is going to be some clips overlaid into this video, but I'm going to just sort of start from the top now. Let's go show you the car first. Here it be, Nissan Skyline DR30. Now, this is a very rare car. It's not a UK car, it's obviously imported. Yeah, as you can see, we have the front off, and it's in here for a couple of reasons. There's a couple of things I need to sort out, like steering box seals, sump leaking, engine raise, stuff like that. Basically, the whole plan is getting this car to work as a, like stance, lowered vehicle. Now, it had like stock shocks and like these horrible like springs in there, and it was like sat on the bump stops, and it was really soft on the back, and it was just not very good at all. So yeah, this car, no aftermarket suspension that we can buy. What we can buy is S13 coilovers. So this is a HSD coilover. They literally bolted straight onto the back using the original top mounts. So they're in, but obviously they don't bolt onto the front, and this is what we're going to do in this video today. Right, okay, so this is where I come in. This here is obviously the original hub for the Skyline. So the Skyline had a strut, which was obviously mounted there like this, and it had the original shock, which was like on here like that. You see all that? That's like sellotape. Now I did take some other pictures and videos which will overlay here. But we got this, which is the original spring perch. Stupid. What the hell is this? That's pathetic. Too soft as well. Bump stop. Coilover sleeve, which is like hacked to high heaven. What on earth's going on there? And then, I don't know if you can see this, this is sellotape or plastic wrap. What on earth is this, man? I hate people so much. It makes me angry. People can't work on cars. This is shit. Anyway, basically, this was the original strut. Had a threaded shock that went on the inside. And it was just awful. Made the car drive badly because it was all like really collapsed and made shorter, so it was lower, but it wasn't even low. We want to put S13 coilovers on here. Now this is something I've already done before. So get rid of this. And obviously we've got this little nub in here. So I've made this adapter. Now this is something I've actually made before for my Toyota. So I put a picture up here of my Toyota. And I've had this set up on that car for over a year and it was sweet. I fitted S15 coilovers to that car. As far as I'm aware, S15, S14 just have longer rear shocks compared to the S13. So it's the same, but different. But yeah, this is it. So this here, you can probably make out what that does straight from it. So this is the S13 hub. We've got the HSD bracket. It threads off at the bottom. This here, this goes like that. And you bolt it onto that. And probably already guessed it, but this goes in here like that. And basically this is really tight and you basically knock it all the way down. It's really tight, so I'll knock it with a hammer. So the benefit of this is that you get to keep all your original brakes. These sort of like old cars like that Skyline, my Toyota, loads of old Datsuns, 86s, all that. It's hard to get parts for and coilovers and all that. And this, when you just want to lower your car and have like a new suspension that you can just bolt on, it's not quite that easy. But this makes everything so much easier. So bang this in, you basically knock it all the way down, make sure it's straight to the actual wheel, weld it on, done. Can't go wrong. You're probably wondering what this little bolt here does. Now, that actually threads in like so. So that basically pushes that down, and when you push it down, it basically pushes the bottom out at the same time. So that goes like that. Get what I mean? And yeah, that adjusts the camber. So you push that down, the bolt obviously goes through here, that pushes the bolt down and it puts camber on the car. So yeah, this is like a 50mm steel bar. So I've got to basically knock it in, preheat it, weld it all the way around this edge here. So I've left some of the strut here. It's hard to get it wrong because it's tight tolerance to there. And this will work for like loads of cars. There's loads and loads of trendy little Japanese cars that people have where the hub is part of the coilover and you can't really just put any aftermarket coilovers on. So this is, from what I've found, the best alternative for that. So that's what we're going to be doing. So yeah, that's in there nicely. That's gone down like the depth of this. So that is fully down there. I've also had it machined, just a little ridge here so I can get the weld in that little valley in there. And from there, I can get a good weld all the way around there. Should be able to get the torch around there. And that will be one piece. That's pretty decent. I'm happy with how that's all turned out. It is possible on this car specifically to run S13 hubs and knuckles and stuff, but then you'd have to put S13 brakes on, and then you don't actually have the exact same pickup point for your track rod end. So it will be in a different position, and I'm not quite sure if it's gonna work for that car in particular, but I have seen people do it. So obviously it does work, but I just like to keep the geometry exactly the same as it was from factory, even though we are changing this, and it is still gonna knock the geometry out because we're lowering it. But the track rod in its accurate position is very good, and you won't have to worry about any bump steer or anything like that because it's from factory basically. Bump steer, from my experience, is where the control arm and the track rod end are moving at different arcs. So if the track rod end is at this angle and the control arm is at this angle, it's fine. But if it's like track rod's at this angle and then the control arm's at this angle, they'll move at a different arc, and that'll want to make the wheels go like this as they travel throughout the suspension. It's a bit of a tricky one to get your head around, but that's what it basically means. weld that on there. This is really thick, so you got to get this preheated and then weld it all the way around there. You're only really welding it in there to stop it from spinning. It's fully all the way down into like here, so it's never going to tweak or move. I had to hammer it in there, as you can see, so it's a very tight tolerance. If you cut the bottom off and just use the hub itself, it's really hard to get this straight. So just using the original bit of the strut there helps you make sure it's straight and perfect and matching the same on that side basically. But yeah, just weld them on like that. You can TIG weld it, MIG weld it, doesn't really matter. I got a MIG welder because I don't have a TIG welder. If I had the choice, I would TIG weld it, but I don't. But yeah, that's all. Give them a coat of black, let them dry, and then we'll get them on the car. And then we can finally get the car back on this ramp. Right, so you can see here, this is where the track rod picks up off, just on there. So this is a separate piece. On the S13, it doesn't actually have this, and the pickup for the track rod is actually on the hub here. So it will naturally be a little bit higher or something like that. I don't know the accurate measurement, but from doing this sort of thing, it's probably best to just keep this all in one piece. Like I said, this will literally just bang straight back on there, put the brake back on, put the track rod back together, put your coilover on, jobs are good. And so I'll get that all fitted and then I'll show you the end result. This Skyline here, luckily for us, the stud pattern of the strut top here is exactly the same as an S13. So yeah, we get to use the camber adjustable top mounts that come with these S13 HSDs. On this car, the holes were M8 and we've drilled them out to M10, so that's the only difference on that one. This one doesn't even require any drilling at all. So yeah, it's like same but different. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, which a lot of you are, this is my Beast GX61. I imported this from Japan like nearly 3 years ago. Yeah, the engine's over there in misery, but we're going to fix that. There's going to be more videos on this car next year. You're balanced, so don't move. Beautiful. So good that these fit. There you go, all mounted up. Coilovers all mounted up nicely. So this is what I'm going to show you with the camber adjustment. This might be hard to do on my own, but if you just wind this Allen key in here, it's basically going to pull this up this way, and in turn it's going to push the bottom. So it's going to allow the hub to do this. So we'll just wind it all the way up. There you go. And if I loosen it off, it might have been hard to see, but if I loosen it off, it will try and stay there. And if I pull on the hub, it'll pretty much show us how much it's moved. Yeah, quite a lot. So plenty of adjustment in there. So I'm going to get both sides on. I've raised the car loads because we've got to change the springs. It's all got to come apart, so we're not going to get it fully stanced out, but in future we will. This is mainly a video to showcase this and how we've adapted all the suspension to work on this car. And yeah, I'm going to go get it on the floor now, get both sides done, and I'll give you a look. Okay, little confession that I glanced over there and I didn't realise until just now. I knew the adjustable top mounts fitted, but I also knew that they were like 180, and I didn't think anything of it until I realised that we're going to run out of camber adjustment, because usually this top mount, the green bit, is 180. So that naturally would have gone inwards, and would have had all this extra camber adjustment. As you can see, there's no recess here, and there is a little bit of a recess here. We can either make a new plate that replicates this, or we can get this machined out so it does go further, but that'll be a job for the future. On this car, obviously it does go all the way there, and this little stud is actually 180 out on this one. So yeah, that's annoying. We can just make a new top mount, so it's not the end of the world. It's just one of those things. So a lot of cars of this era are like that, so you can literally just bolt them on and they'll fit. But this is the first one I've seen where it's the opposite way around. Nice. I need to dial in a little bit more camber, but this car has these rotor grids on, and they're not rotor grids, Watanabe like reps basically. These are not staying, these are literally temporary until we get a nice set of wheels for it. But for now, they work, and we can get a good reference of what we can sort of like put on here, size-wise. Right, it's ready to go on the floor. Now, we've got this massive lip on at the minute. That's literally just like wedged on there. That needs to be painted and stuff. So ignore that for now. There's an exhaust leak. I've got to sort that, so ignore that. And just the whole stance in general, just ignore that. But this car's going to be really cool. When we put 14s on, these are 15 by 9 with a 185, 45, 15 on. And they look very Volkswagen-y. Like the stretch looks very VW-esque, which is less than ideal. Like, I like my tyres like this. That's good. That's a good fitment. This car's static, by the way, just in case you was wondering. Kind of scary. Let me just show you something I've noticed. So, look at that gap. Obviously, we've raised the car up loads. We've got this front valance, and it's quite low to the ground, I'll be honest. Fuck. Yeah, that's way too low. That valance has got to go. We can't keep that. It just sits like a mile lower than the rest of the kit. Yeah, that's no good. Because that gap is awful. And that one. It is like nose down at the minute, so it will get a little bit better. But that's the next episode. We'll start doing a bit of work to that and making sure the stance is looking nice. You'll have to ignore the horrible exhaust noise. I'm doing an EGR pipe on there, so it's got a little bung missing out of the manifold, and it's got no power steering fluid in it because the seal on the steering box is gone, but that's why it's in here. But yeah, it looks cool, but it needs to be lower. And I don't know if you heard it in that video, but it literally scraped as soon as I took out the unit. So it is low, but it doesn't look low. So there's something I need to work on there. A little bit of camber. I think that'll be it. But man, that's a big gap. It has settled a little bit as it's come out of the workshop, I'll give it that. But yeah, that's how we do that. I so want my car and this car to be parked next to each other at some point next year, because man, that looks so good. Maybe we should go up a size on the tyre. We had nothing to base it off, and well, I thought the car would go lower than this, which is why I chose these tyres. But the way it just scraped out there, and it's scraped along here as well, I'm thinking that we might need to go up a tyre size if we can't get it low enough. In future, this car will get air cups, and it will, hopefully, if I persuade Matt, get a subframe raise and stuff on the front, and then we definitely have got a load more clearance underneath it. That's the plan anyway. I think this car is so good. I actually did Matt's Skyline earlier on in the year. He had an R32, and that was really cool. That was on air cups. And yeah, he's upgraded to this machine here. I'm lucky to have that in the workshop because not many people can say they've worked on one of those. But yeah, that's how you S13 coilover swap a DR30 Skyline. you join me on the next day. The Skyline is on the ramp, partially stripped down. I've just spent the day like fixing the exhaust leak, trying to fix the power steering leak. I put stiff springs on it all round, adjusted the rear, just a bunch of little bits that didn't really need to be filmed, sort of thing. So yeah, I've actually convinced Matt to raise the subframe on this car. So obviously the subframe is down there on the floor. I've managed to persuade him. The car's gonna get a 1-inch subframe raise, and that's basically gonna give us an extra inch of clearance. It will help the control arms sit at a nicer angle, and it will also raise the engine at the same time. So yeah, I'm gonna do another video on that. I just thought I'd show you how I put random suspension on random old cars like this. So I obviously run the same suspension setup on my GX61, so I've been doing this for a while. I've actually done it on a couple of other cars before as well. So yeah, people in Japan have been doing it. People have been doing it all over the world. I nearly managed to buy a set of hubs for this car. Had already been done by some guy over here in Wales. It was. He'd already had a set made and machined up. Very simple stuff. It's not like you've reinvented the wheel or something. It's easy work. But yeah, this is going to be it for this video. I just thought I'd show you a little bit of an introduction into this car. This car will actually be back in the workshop next year at some point for air cups and stuff like that. So we might get another video on that. I'll do a video explaining the subframe raise and getting it outside and dialing in the stance and stuff. But yeah, just thought I'd show you this because it's definitely something cool in the workshop and not many people get to, you know, work on one of these. So yeah, thank you for watching. Yeah, cheers, see you later.